Hey guys, Wellen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Samsung keyboard for the Samsung S8 phone right here, which is pretty cool. This is not the most technical review I will give you, but I will give my own experience of it, pros and cons that I've noticed over the past week and a half. So hope you guys enjoy it, sit back and relax. So first off, let's take a look at the case itself. Pretty cool, pretty nice. It is very gimmicky, of course. The cover itself, the keyboard itself is a really nice matte finish. Very thin though. There basically is no protection to this case except for scratches. It's not like having a nice outer box, which is nice and diesel. Very good protections, nice padding. If I were to drop my phone with this on, I will probably have a little mini heart attack, to be honest. But it does give a nice feel to it, and it will prevent scratches overall. Same thing with the keyboard right here. Now, I know there was a keyboard for the S7, and one time I watched a review for that one. When the reviewer actually put the phone into the case, it prompted the phone to have an update to install a firmware. So there is something in this case to activate the keyboard, because you can't even use a keyboard by itself like this. It won't activate. So there is definitely a connection with the case itself. You could kind of see a lining in here, so yeah, there is something there. But overall, putting the phone on into the case right here, if I could do that, right, there you go. It's a nice look, it's a nice feel, nice black matte, looks pretty good. But like I said before, no protection at all, and you don't even have the lips on top, barely. Yeah, barely one on top, but it's not even that noticeable. But usually the new ones have a nice lip on the top and bottom. This one does not. So protection wise, be very careful with this. But getting into the keyboard itself, putting it on is pretty simple. You can put it on the back if you're not going to use it. You hear a nice little click right there, because on the sides of the case there is little notches right there to hinge it in. And I think there is some kind of a magnet in there, because it kind of gets drawn to it, so it's a nice feeling when you finally get in there. There you go. But overall, it stays on pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's going to come off anything. It's pretty secure on. I've had it for a week and a half. I never had a problem with it in my pocket that it comes off and I take it out of my pocket. So overall, the feel of it, and it feels pretty sturdy, surprisingly. So like I said, I think there is some kind of magnet in there to keep it all in there, because I really can't think that those two little tabs are keeping it on. But yeah, so putting the case on, as you can see right off the bat, it will shift everything up. It makes your screen a little bit smaller, which is a little bit of a drawback to this. And my overall assessment of this case is that you really have to love having a physical keyboard to like this, because there are some pros to having this, of course, but there are a lot more cons in my opinion. But the overall pros will emotionally want you to work with it. You see the cons, you work around it and stuff like that. So you really have to like the keyboard a lot to really use this a lot, or keep it on full time, pretty much. Like I said, it is gimmicky, but if you want that keyboard, you'll work around all the negative stuff, which we will get into right now. Alright, so the first negative thing about this is that the home button does not work when the screen is off. It kind of sucks. So basically, when you have your phone, normally you can just do that. But you don't have the option right there. So I actually find myself just using the fingerprint scanner more often, turn my phone on like that. So that's something to point out right there. But as you can see, when you're on your home screen, everything is shifted up. The icons are a little bit smaller than they were before. So it does make your screen a little bit smaller as well, but you work around that. So let's get into the negatives. So one, I'm pretty sure you can watch a lot of videos on this, people talk about it, but a lot of reviewers are not talking about, using the phone daily. They have their first impression of it. But some things I noticed on this phone that kind of ticked me off is, one thing is when you watch a video on YouTube. So you have a video on YouTube right here. When you first start up, it's on top. But if you want to watch it widescreen, it won't auto-rotate. You have to actually press this button on the side there to get it to auto-rotate, or rotate in general. And this is how big your screen is. It's a lot smaller than before, but you will get used to it, of course. It's not the most horrible thing in the world. Actually, one thing I do like is the fact that I could actually hold it on this hand and have all my fingers over the buttons have a better grip. I don't have to hold it like this, or hold it like this, you know. It's more comfortable holding like this, to be honest, because you're not using the keyboard right now, so it won't mess it up. And I have a text message. Alright, so going back home, that's one drawback. Now another drawback also is when you have your own videos, your own TV shows, your own movies in your phone that you downloaded and you put it into your phone, the aspect ratio isn't the greatest as well, because when you watch a video, unlike YouTube, there is no button actually to make it go widescreen. You have to watch it like this. I think if you have any other player, maybe you could do it. I actually have VLC and I couldn't do that as well. So that is another drawback, you know, but like I said before, you might get used to it. I have. You work around it, basically. Alright, so another con to this, of course, what people have been noticing is that if you switch around your home button, your back button, and also your folders button on your main screen, the second you put this on, it will revert it back to default and keep it that way, so you have to keep going back and forth in your settings to switch it out. I actually leave it like this because I actually am pretty comfortable with it like that, so I think that was the same thing on the original G1, so that's how I pretty much get used to it. Yeah, so another drawback is the keyboard. I'm talking a lot about the drawbacks first, so it gets that out of the way, because I know a lot of people want to see how, you know, some truthful negative things about this. So, alright, one thing, the keyboard, the number key is on the left side right here, which is not a bad thing at all, but it's just accessing it might be annoying, because you're typing, and you want to do a number, you can't just type a number on top that you would normally have. Let's get the keyboard out so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So here's the original keyboard with the new one. As you can see, totally different layout. It's a lot smaller as well. I know one person actually said that. I was watching a video, one person was like, oh, it's the same keyboard, and they place it on top, so when you press the button, it hits the button on the bottom. Totally wrong. A different layout, totally, as you can see right here. So you have to get used to it. There is definitely an adjustment period to using this keyboard. But like I said before, the number keys are on the left side, so if you want to use it, you have to hold down the shift button to press one or two keys if you're going to use only one or two numbers. If you're going to use a lot of numbers, then you have to hold it down for a couple of seconds. You will feel a vibration activating it, and then you can just type away like that. And yeah, so to unactivate it, you press Alt again, and then you're back to normal. But yeah, that's something to get around to. As you can see, my history, Power Booth, he just passed away. Pizza Little Italy NYC, I want to get some pizza. And Radio Shack. You know, I did not know Radio Shack was pretty much closed. I had to find that out myself. Now, another negative thing about the keyboard is the fact that the keys do not light up. So if it's nighttime, if you're in your bed at nighttime, if you're in your car, you're in a dark area, you can't see what you're really typing sometimes. So it kind of sucks about that. There is no power source to this, so there is no LED lights in the bottom underneath the keyboard. So that is a bummer. But that should be also noted that there is no power source to this, so you're not draining any battery from your phone, you're not using Bluetooth, anything like that. I know there are other third-party keyboard companies in the past that make it to slide down the whole way, but those use Bluetooth. You have to constantly charge those, you have to be aware how much battery is left in those as well. So you can see the positive on that, at least, that there is no power source needed to activate or use this. Also, talking about battery, you must wonder that the fact that, you know, when you use this, the screen is a lot smaller, so it must save battery somewhat, you know, because you're not utilizing the whole screen as well. So just something to think about in the long run. But going down to the rest of the negatives about this, even like, so when I'm typing, I just want to use a comma or a period, you have to shift, you know, so it could get a little bit annoying. But like I said before, there is a huge adjustment period to using this keyboard, because I never had a BlackBerry myself, so I never had a keyboard in this kind of layout. I had a G1 phone where the keyboard was on the side, you know, sideways, a lot bigger. But yeah, that was years ago, so it definitely took me a while to get used to this. I had this for about a week and a half, give or take, and I'm still getting used to it, to be honest, but my speed in typing has gone up dramatically, to be honest. So like I said before, you have to get used to it a little bit, but you will make it work if you really like a keyboard. So yeah, any other negatives I could think about right off the bat? The video thing was probably the biggest thing I noticed, because I watch a lot of videos, you know, YouTube. When I go to work and I commute on work on the train, I watch a lot of videos as well. So that kind of sucks that you have to watch it, you know, in this aspect like this. But I got used to it, to be honest. That's why in the beginning of the video I said you have to really love the keyboard to make everything, to justify using this, to be honest, because I like the keyboard. There's something about having a keyboard that just feels nice, you know, typing, hearing the keys, feeling the keys, it just feels really good. You know, this definitely does roll some heads. You know, people have asked me what kind of phone is that because they see this, and you know, it's a nice design. It actually looks pretty official, not like an attachment, so people are really curious about it. But yeah, you definitely have to love the keyboard to really like this overall. What else is there to talk about? I talked about the home button, I talked about the video, YouTube, it did too. Yeah, oh, taking pictures yourself. So when you have your own, when you're taking pictures yourself, the aspect ratio changes. It pretty much is a square, so there's no difference in doing this or that, which pretty much takes away from the potential of what you could get without the phone, with the keyboard, obviously. So that is something to think about in the long run. But it's pretty simple to take it on and off also. You know, even though I said it doesn't feel like it's going to come off when you're holding or using it, surprisingly it's pretty simple to take off as well, which is pretty nice. Yeah. The keys feel great. That's one thing I like a lot. You feel the clicks. There's a little bit of vibration on it as well, so it feels nice. Yeah, so like I said before, my overall theme about this keyboard is that you have to love the keyboard to really justify using it every day, all day. And it's pretty expensive, you know, it's about 55, I think, or 60 bucks, something like that. So it's not cheap. For a gimmicky thing like that, it is not cheap, and you really have to love it to justify everything else, getting around using it. I use it every single day so far, and I have to admit, I got used to it. I got used to watching videos just like holding it like this. YouTube is no problem. You just rotate it and press the button. You're definitely not utilizing the full potential of the phone. I have to be honest about that. But you just physically, you know, you emotionally want to use the keyboard, so you pretty much just justify using it. Would I recommend the keyboard? No, I would not. My wife used it. She hates it. I got another text message. My cousin used it. He hates it. My coworker used it. He hates it. You know, the people will not like this, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. There's a lot of negative things to this. It's just fun to use. It's fun to have. It feels good. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said before, I do wish I had a more secure cover on it, like an OtterBox or something. You know, it's just so thin. I'm a little bit bummed as well, because I didn't know you had to use this cover to activate the keyboard, because I had this battery case right here, and I was gonna make some Frankenstein design where I have the phone in here and I have the case on top, so it has unlimited battery with a keyboard, some ridiculous thing, but you can't do that. But yeah, overall, I like it. Do I recommend it to everybody? Nope, not at all, because I know for a fact it's not easy to use. It doesn't make sense, to be honest. You know, with such a nice big screen, you're making it smaller and everything like that. You're not utilizing the full potential of the phone. But like I said, emotionally, I want it to work, and I will make it work, so I like it a lot myself. Alright guys, so that's basically it. I just want to show it off a little bit. I want to give you my own feelings of it, because I know a lot of people have been reviewing it, and just basically doing an unbiased review, but not really talking a lot about it after using it for a long time, not talking about the negative stuff. Like I said, this whole video, I must have pointed out 10 to 1 negative things to positive, you know, but I still like it a lot overall because, like I said before, emotionally, you just love the keyboard and you want to make it work, you want to use it a lot, and you feel cool. You feel cool using it on a train, you feel cool using on it on the elevator or people around you because, surprisingly, you know, having a keyboard, which was in the past, you know, it makes you want to use it again for some reason, you know. Touchscreen is cool. It really is. It's boring though. Sometimes you just want to have something physical that you want to type on. Alright, so that is basically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Like I said before, not the most technical review, sorry, but I just want to give you my pros and cons on this and how I like it. So that's basically it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up.